Today I'm going to review two different bags from Tom Bihn. The first is the Synapse 19, which is my personal all-time favorite bag, and the second is the Tom Bihn Pilot. So we'll start with the Synapse 19. I'm not going to go into too much detail because there's already been a lot written on the web about this, but for me, I used to use, about 15 years ago, I bought, there's a company in Canada called Mountain Equipment Co-op, and I got this bag as part of a day pack for a much larger bag that was kind of attached to it, and you could check in. I used this for traveling when I was, my early 20s. I don't use the large pack anymore, but this day pack was amazing. I was always surprised at how much I could fit in. It was well organized, pretty small, very light, and very, very durable. After 15 years, I started to show some wear, and I decided to try and replace it. Fortunately, Mountain Equipment Co-op doesn't make this bag anymore. So I started looking online and came across this bag from eBags, and I really, really wanted to love this bag. Unfortunately, I just don't. It's pretty heavy. It weighs considerably more than the other bag that it replaced. It's a lot bigger. Barely fits under like a seat in front of me, and I've got long legs. I'm 6'2", so that wasn't I had to always kind of put it in the overhead bin. And it also has some very nice features to it. This is why I originally got it. Like, it's got this kind of structured compartment down here that you can put power bricks, nothing will collapse or interfere with the other pockets. But I couldn't fit much in here. It's got a nice laptop padded pouch, but it just felt like the way that it was laid out, there was a lot of kind of cruft and unusable space. And so I really wanted to love this bag, but I don't. So instead, that led me, after more research, to a bag that was about twice as expensive as this eBags one from Tom Bihn, the Synapse 19. And this bag has a very, very similar form to the one that I initially had, the Mountain Equipment Co-op. It's actually just a little bit smaller, a little bit shorter than it, but I could still fit all of my stuff in here. For example, I carry a 15-inch MacBook Pro, and without a case, it actually fits in here pretty easily as long as I don't overstuff this. I use this all the time for biking. It's got this really, really nice bottom compartment. Tom Bihn sells different things like a Snake Charmer that you can put in here. Very, very, very easy to fit tons and tons of stuff. One of my favorite features about this bag is that you can, it's got these kind of side pockets that you can fit a ton of stuff in that are really, really well organized. It's also got this really nice kind of keychain ring strap that I ended up using all the time. So when I'm out doing stuff or biking, I just put these in here, strap them, super easy to grab. It's also got this cool kind of water bottle compartment that you can actually take a water bottle and fit in here. So you can fit tons and tons of stuff in. Fits my 15-inch laptop, no problem. They recommend you don't use a 15-inch laptop with this model, but I never use a case with mine or any kind of protective sleeve, and it fits no problem. The only time I have some issues is if I start to pack lots and lots of stuff into here. I don't really have much more to say than this. Than if I was stuck on a desert island, this is the one bag that I would take with me. I absolutely love it. But for more professional settings, when I'm going to work meetings and stuff like that, I wanted something that's a little bit more professional than just a backpack, and that led me to this kind of the Tom Bihn Pilot. And so I've got two different versions of it there I've been testing out. I own this version here, and it's called Steel Ballistic, and it's got this kind of really pretty greenish yellow, I guess green wasabi is what it's called, interior. It's made of ballistic, some kind of ballistic material, ballistic nylon, I think. This one is made of something they call it Halycon, I believe we'll call it Halycon, and really nice material. It's a little bit more flexible, has more give to it. And so I've been testing out these two bags themselves. They both weigh pretty similar. This one's definitely a little heavier, but once I take out my wallet and my keys, then these two things, if I stick my wallet and keys in here, then these two bags weigh about the same. So that's about the kind of difference you're looking at, is just a standard key rack and a keychain and a wallet like that makes these two about equivalent. So there's some features I absolutely love about these bags. They don't have as much volume as the other bags that I was showing, but they can fit a surprising amount of stuff. So when I travel, oftentimes I'm not like a one bag person necessarily, although I have used my Synapse 19 for 2-3 day trips. But I often have this kind of TravelPro right here, roller luggage, super cheap. It's about $100 from Amazon. For the kind of quality you get, it's pretty great. Really nice wheels, nice handle, rolls pretty well. It's heavy. It's like 8-9 pounds, just empty. So you kind of lose a lot of your weight allowance there. But it's for running through airports and stuff. I really like it, and it's a lot cheaper than not nearly as nice, but a lot cheaper than something like a Briggs & Riley, which I don't travel enough with the Rollerboard to justify one of those. But my standard packing is, in one of these guys, I'll often put, I use packing cubes, and so here's the Eagle Creek packing cubes. This is their kind of older style that you can get a little bit cheaper, and then they've got these fancier, lighter material packing cubes too, the Scepter line. And so I use these packing cubes quite often, and often I can fit about 4 of these guys into into my TravelPro. But I could also fit basically 2 of these guys equal 1 of these guys. So you can do different kind of combinations. I'll often travel with roughly 2 of these. If I'm going for a really long trip, like a couple weeks, maybe 3 of these, plus a pair of shoes or 2 pairs of shoes wrapped up in a bag. And that all fits in pretty nicely. But with these pilots, you can actually I can fit about half of what I can fit into the suitcase. I can fit into one of these things if I really wanted to. Another thing I like is I can use the pilot as a kind of super packing cube. So you can see here on the left-hand side of my luggage, I've got one of the medium Eagle Creek followed by 2 of the small Eagle Creek packing cubes. And I can put these packing cubes into the pilot, and then the pilot will actually fit in pretty much the same space. It takes up a little bit more volume, but not much more. The way this is structured, it just kind of acts like a super packing cube for everything else. And so you're not really losing much space in such a carry-on, but then when you get to your destination, you can unpack it and you've got your everyday carry as the pilot. Another thing that I was curious about is fitting my 15-inch laptop in. Again, they recommend a 13-inch laptop, but with a bare laptop, the 15-inch actually fits in pretty easily into this. It's a little tight, but one caveat is if you are going to put a lot of stuff into the compartment, it puts some stress on the zippers. It's a little bit harder to close and to carry around. You can feel it putting a little bit of pressure. I think online there's a lot of discussion with these 2 bags about the different types of materials on the forums and other places about which one to get. And the kind of advantages of this Ballistic are that it tends to hold its shape a little bit better, and I definitely noticed this. It's heavier, unfortunately, and I feel like it holds the exact same amount of stuff. I can cram the same into either of these. It's just I have to work a little bit harder sometimes to fit stuff in and zipper it, where this one will zipper pretty easily. Carrying them around, they're about the same in terms of comfort. This one, again, because it's a little bit heavier, maybe isn't as comfortable as this one. Also, this one tends to get pretty blocky, or sort of like a big giant rectangle. It makes it a little bit more uncomfortable to carry around. It doesn't kind of conform to your body as much as this one. I feel like in terms of form and function, this one I prefer. I definitely prefer this material. I was worried it wouldn't look as professional, but it looks pretty great. I'm really impressed with the material. I think these both look really nice. In the end, it's such a small difference between these. I think you should just go with whichever one looks the best for you. There isn't going to be a huge difference there. Even though I think I like the function of this one just infinitesimally a little bit more, I'm going to stick with this guy because I often wear gray, and I really think this color combination it's sharp, it stands out, it's a little bit more impressive. So professional environments, I would give this one a slight edge. Now, in terms of what you can pack, I don't like carrying shoulder bags all that much, but this Tom Bihn bag, it's got a really nice feature. It's got this, it's called the Absolute shoulder strap, and it comes, it's got some really nice features. It's got this nice curvature, and it's very kind of stretchy, flexible material that makes it very comfortable to wear these things crossbody. And just really nice features, like this buckle here is really kind of heavy duty. If you take it and open it up. It's a pleasure to use. Really well constructed. Kind of rotates around this kind of sort of pivot point, and it makes carrying these bags quite a bit more comfortable. In general, I wouldn't carry more than maybe 8 pounds in one of these for myself personally. It kind of puts weird pressure on my back anytime I carry something crossbody. Sometimes I like to carry it behind me instead. Have my back more like a messenger bag, but I'm just used to backpacks. I'm a backpack person, but this makes it really, really comfortable. And I'd say anything under 8 pounds, I can carry extremely comfortably. If I was in a pinch and, you know, I went on a trip and I didn't have enough, bought a bunch of stuff and I needed to stuff it in somewhere, then it would be totally comfortable to you know, maybe completely pack this thing up as much as possible. And that's large part because of this absolute shoulder strap. I think it's essential. I think it should be standard with this bag. It's so great. And I also, because I use these packing cubes quite a bit, one of the things that I also have been trying out is using these Eagle Creek kind of garment folders. It's really great for dress pants or especially dress shirts. You can fold them your shirts up, fit it in there, and then it's about the size of my 15-inch laptop, my MacBook Pro, and that also will fit into either of these bags as well. It also fits into my Synapse 19 if I need to. Another thing I really like about the Pilot is that it's got this back pocket that you can put things in, but it also unzips. And so if you're carrying a rollerboard or traveling with a rollerboard, you can just slip that over the handle really easily. I've also recently purchased from Tom Bihn, I've got their Snake Charmer. It's in here. And this thing is great for holding electronics. When I get on a plane, I like to have a place where I can put all my cables, all my electronics, my little portable wireless Bluetooth noise canceling headphones, a battery backup, and everything that I need for a trip will easily fit in this bag. It actually has 2 different compartments to it, and it's I really only ever need to use 1/2 of them so far. You can put snaps and other stuff in. And I just take this and I throw it into the take it out of my whatever bag I have, and then I've got all my airplane essentials. I just stick into the seat pocket in front of me. There's also, which I haven't had a chance to use as much, but it's about a similar size to that. It's something called the Side Effect, and it's a little kind of bag too, similar size as the Snake Charmer, and both of these will fit pretty easily into these kind of front pockets or into the bottom pocket of the Synapse 19. And this thing is nice because it's got, again, these kind of key straps and the O-rings, so you can put keys in here, and you can put passports, documents, and other things. So you could also use this as kind of your airplane travel bag. I really like both of these bags as well. I highly recommend the Pilot. I really think you should go with whatever material works for you, or whichever one you think looks the best. And again, if I was ever stuck on a desert island, then the Synapse 19 would be the absolute bag for me. Thanks.